Friends, this is my 70th video, and on a request of many bungalow owners and residents that Mr. Das, we are unable to understand of your Janam Patri video as to how do we go across and we finally make use of that Janam Patri. First of all, let us discuss today in a very simpler way. How can we get this knowledge or this research which I always wanted that my fellow residents of these 57 plus 5 cantonments should enhance of the special laws made for these cantonments by the British. I am aware and I am quite confident to say this that many bungalow owners even do not know what their full volume general land register means. And we are so much dependent on the local advocates, which I don't say have no acumen, but have no knowledge about the acts and regulations which were made by the British for the 3 presidencies separately and after amalgamation. So friends, this Janam Patri is very important and it is very simple. All you have to do is that I have been always stating in most of my videos, and my biggest dispute with the present team in 2015 was that I wanted to create a legal cell which will render services to residents. So if you want your Janam Patri, I would simply say you have to reimburse me a very menial amount, which is 11,000 rupees in my bank account, and subsequently you will have to share everything of your OGB, leasehold property within these cantonment boundary pillars. Now there is a question. What is a resident or a person who is wanting to take this benefit of Janam Patri? He will have to send me all his grant papers, whether an OGB, whether a leasehold property under the 1899 to 1937 CLA rules, starting from sale deeds, registries, any house tax receipts from 1880, or any notices given by the CO, station cell, or the MEO or DO. If any permission taken for construction or for boundary wall, anything. Let's say you have gone to court for a small cause. There are many bungalow owners who have taken permission to cut their trees in 1940s and 50s. I want everything. Send me a hard copy on my address. Simultaneously, I am not asking for your original papers, but the original papers will have to come to me in a scanned form so that I can verify your photocopy sent to me, whether they stand in the testimony of the same document. The second question which arises in my friends is, how will this Janam Patri actually help a resident who is either enjoying his OGB or a leasehold property as a residential accommodation, or is running a shop, maybe a hotel, even some are running schools. So anything within the 4 boundary pillars of the cantonment, we need to know our rights. Now, what were our rights? They propagate from the General Land Register of the 1937, which will now be finally made under the CLA rules 2020, which will be moreover computerized, which most of the bungalow owners have been sharing with me. Now, I very clearly would say most of my people who will get their Janam Patris, they don't know much about the terminology called old grant or why these OGBs were converted into lease after 1899 till 1937. They don't even know why and when, how house tax is being charged to us and why is it being charged to us. I would even say they don't know what is the meaning or the chronology of how STR is calculated for a cantonment. And it is applicable on leases or OGBs. Some of my fellow friends don't even know that their predecessors have already given admission deeds. What is that language of admission deed given in 1938, 1940 or 50 or 70s? Now, the benefit would be if there are bungalow owners who have not been mutated and are illegal occupants, do they need to give their admission deeds and finally get their mutations done? Some of the bungalow owners want to know, can we repair our bungalows, OGBs or leaseholds? Or can we demolish the whole bungalow under the 1995 policy and reconstruct it at a new place on whether any north, south, east side as per the Vedic Vastu? The last and foremost point is that most of the bungalow owners don't know when they are looking up for ownerships or they are issued a resumption notice, what to do. So friends, this Janam Patri is a kind of a counter-insurgency program where a bungalow owner or a resident of these cantonments will prepare his ammunitions. He will prepare all his documentation in the form of evidence. If need be, I will help him to even write RTI letters or various other letters to the departments. So what he has to share? His important sale deeds. Now I remember I have been always mentioning of some cut dates. If a bungalow owner can share a sale deed of prior to 1864, if not that, it could be prior to 1899. Even if not that, could be prior to 1912. Then comes the Cantonment Act 1924, give me a sale deed prior to this. Or even if I say prior to the first CLA rules of 1925. So friends, you have to give me documents prior to the Cantonment Land Administration Rules, that is the ultimate 1937. Because after 1937, there was a huge tide change because admission deeds had flown in. So this is where I will help you. Once you have shared these documents, I will prepare a handwritten case profile of yours. And I will tell you which are your grey areas and which are your strong areas. And where could you find your land records? This will help you. I will make sure that your status with the notices which you have already replied on, or if any case which is under litigation or pendency. So we will try and make all these things on a paper. The same document will be sent to you scanned. And from here, wherever tomorrow, let's say in coming 10 years, 15 years or maybe any time, you are under a problem, this document which I would prepare, which is called the Janam Patri, will be the place from where you would be briefing your advocates and your legal people of what is the status of your grant. That is why before any eventuality happens, before anything is pre-bond would happen to us in our bungalows or in our properties in these civil areas, I want everybody to be prepared with their ammunition. You guys have to give me the ammunition. I will provide you with the guns. The guns are the laws. And this is how we will move. So it is very easy. All you have to do is reimburse me a menial amount of 11,000 rupees and your Janam Patri would be made. Now my last tone would end with, we are old grants with revenue-free rights, never converted into new grants by the British under their either 1765 or 1790 or 1812 or even 1828 and the last act regulation of 1859. So we must know that we are freehold properties. Friends, my humble request, please join hands with your neighbor. Please make sure that he comes on my mobile. Thank you. Good day.